Good morning, all of you. So, in our today's class, we are going to study the next concept is organic compounds. So, if you notice it in our NCERT, they have been given in our page number 63. It's like more to know. It's extra knowledge. So let it be something we will learn from that also. So after learning the organic compounds, then only we'll go for classification of organic compounds. That is what saturated and unsaturated carbon compounds and etc. So now, please all of you give a name. Organic compounds. So let us discuss what we mean by this organic compounds and what exactly they are trying to say or convey to us to learn. So if you notice it, first of all, organic compounds means we all knows that which is made up of what, guys? Anyone? All of you?
Carbon.
Carbon. So that is the basic thing we can say. So compounds of carbon. Carbon are known as organic compounds. But let us discuss what is happening here and how it will be taking place. So now if you notice it here, the compounds which are constituted from carbon or compounds of carbon are called as organic compounds. Now you can see here, I will add one more definition. If any kind of compounds which are constituted from carbon and as well as also it is carrying hydrogen, then they are called as organic compounds. So now, in organic compounds, remember some non-metals may also present. Some non-metals also existed. So very few organic compounds contains a metal along with the carbon and hydrogen. So that example also I will give you. Very few compounds only metal is existed along with the whom guys? Carbon and hydrogen. So that also very important. So it will take very few compounds contains metal along with the carbon and the hydrogen. So the first example it will take hemoglobin. So where the hemoglobin is present, anybody can tell? Yes, please. Hemoglobin. Yes.
Blood.
Red blood cells.
Red blood cells. So basically it is an organic compound, but also contains Fe, iron metal in it. Same way, a leaf if have been taken, every leaf is containing a green color pigment. What is the pigment we used to call it as, everybody?
Chlorophyll.
So chlorophyll, basically if you take, everything will be organic compound made up of carbon and hydrogen and some other non-metals are present. The only metal which is present in the chlorophyll, if you have taken Mg. What do you mean by Mg? Magnesium. So like this, most of the compounds, organic compounds, they contains carbon and hydrogen and other few non-metals, but very few compounds only contains along with the carbon and hydrogen, they contains the metal. That is examples hemoglobin and chlorophyll. Now, if you have taken a word Organic, it has been taken. See, nowadays, this century, presently at 21st century, organic is the word which is most popular. You might be heard everywhere. Organic food, organic agriculture, organic methods like that you are hearing nowadays. Is it yes, guys? Yes or no? So chemical.
sir.
No. So that is what. So organic is the word which is derived from organisms. So that is the meaning of organic. So initially it was considered that like very old, long back, those compounds which are derived from living organisms. That is what I'm saying. So who is the living organisms? Living organisms. Everybody. Don't know who is the living organisms? Yes, please.
Plants and animals.
Plants and as well as animals. So that is what the meaning of organisms. The organic is the word which is derived from organisms. At the early days, it was considered that all the compounds are coming from living organisms of both plants and animals. So that is why they are organic compounds. You understand it? And remember, that olden days they used to believe that they cannot be synthesized, synthesized in laboratory. So that is what the belief which our ancient people will be, ancient means very old people will be having a belief. So, and this belief is only called as vital force theory. What is the theory name called as? Vital force theory. So all of you should understand what is vital force theory means. According to this theory, a preparation of organic compounds, it is not possible in laboratory, and there is some invisible force or mysterious force which is called as vital force is responsible for this formation. So that is what our people, those compounds is coming from organisms like plants and animals. So that is what we used to call it as vital force theory. Can you all understand? Please respond. So vital force theory means it's a belief by our old initially like early days. No organic compounds can be prepared in laboratory. It is only coming through organisms like plants and animals. So it is some kind of mysterious force. That force only known as vital force is called as vital force theory. Understand, Kevin? Elmogel? Now, if you have noticed it, later the branch of chemistry which will deals about this only organic compounds. So if you go to the 11th, the chemistry is separated into two branches. So one is which we will study about organic compounds is called as organic chemistry, and which we will study about some other substances, that is what other than organic compounds will called as inorganic chemistry. So here the organic chemistry is the one which we will deal about organic compounds. Okay, now the first organic compound synthesized in lab is urea. This is also very important. Scientist's name also very important. I will show you in the book. The first organic compound which is synthesized is whose, guys? What is that name called as? Urea. And it was prepared by a German chemist called as Friedrich Wöhler. Friedrich Friedrich Wöhler in the year of 1828. So he prepared the urea. This is the first synthesized organic compound in the laboratory, and he prepared this one by heating ammonium cyanide. Are you clear, everybody? Ammonium cyanide is just heated. It has been rearranged structure to obtain the urea. So that is how a people has been understand that the vital force theory has been wrong. So we can synthesize these organic compounds in laboratory. So now let us discuss how this urea has been prepared in the laboratory by heating ammonium cyanide. So first, they have been taken, Friedrich Wöhler has been prepared ammonium cyanide. So if you want to get ammonium cyanide, we need ammonium sulfate and potassium cyanide. Can you tell me ammonium sulfate and potassium cyanide formula? Anyone? Yes, please. Ammonium sulfate, Na4 SO4, they are twice, plus potassium cyanide. Anybody? KCNO. So please remember cyanide. So if we heat, we are going to get ammonium cyanide. So NH4CNO plus we'll also get potassium sulfate. So this is what will happen. So don't know chemical name, please learn everybody. So this is what we used to call as potassium cyanide, and this is called as what, guys? Ammonium cyanide. It looks like a double displacement reaction. Is it, yes, brothers? You have noticed it? Cyan. That is what.
Yes, sir.
What we want. Ammonium cyanide is we want. This one, it will simply heat. It will modified into what? It will be modified. Everybody. It will be modified into what? Yes, please. I told you what is the first compound which is prepared? Urea.
Urea.
So formula of urea, please all of you learn. NH2CO, NH2. Remember, this one and this one, if you will count, number of nitrogens, number of oxygens, number of hydrogens will be same. Is it true or not? Tell me. Anybody? All of you? Is it right or wrong? Tell me, girls. Laksha, Aswita. Number of hydrogens, number of nitrogens, number of oxygens, same or not? This side and this side.
Yes, sir.
Tell me. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So ammonium cyanide, and this is urea. So here, number of atoms are not changing. If you notice it, chemical formula is same, but physical properties are different. This property is called as something, versatile nature of carbon. Anybody can tell? I taught you that. Same chemical formula, but different structures. Isomerism. That is what you have to remember that. So it is just rearrangement is taking place. You might be understanding. Rearrangement of atoms is taking place. Ammonium cyanide is converting into urea. So this is also one of the nature of carbon. That is why millions of compounds are producing day by day in laboratory. Till now, the known compounds which is formed by carbon is 5 million compounds. Remember that no other elements can show. So, and this reaction is called as isomerization. Who has been called? Mr. Friedrich Wöhler called this reaction as called as isomerization, because just same chemical formula and rearranging atoms position, it is entirely different properties and different structure. So that property is only called as, what is that called as, everybody? Isomer. Okay.
Isomer.
That reaction is called as isomerization. So this discovery is disapproved the vital force theory, and it has been proved that organic compounds can be prepared in the laboratory. So from that moment, a large number of organic compounds have been synthesized in the laboratory after the formation of urea. So urea is the first synthesized organic compound by the humans in the laboratory in the year of 1828. So finally, the organic compounds has been defined as, before we used to believe that it is coming only from where, guys? Only from plants and animals, living organisms. Later it has been approved that the organic compounds have defined as it is made with the carbon and hydrogen and contains other non-metals like nitrogen, sulfur, halogens, and phosphorus. So that is what is organic compounds. So please all of you remember. And if we'll take here the compounds of carbon, what is the compounds of carbon? Anybody can tell? Sources of carbon, compounds of carbon. I want to know answer from you all. Yes, everybody?
Fossil fuel,
Yeah, oxides. Next one.
Carbonates.
carbonate,
Others don't know. Next one. Hydrocarbonates, hydrogen carbonates. That is only called as bicarbonates. These three, all of you remember, this one is not considered as organic compounds. Very important. Please remember the oxides of, that is what, compounds of carbon like oxides, carbonates, bicarbonates are not considered as organic compounds because these all the compounds having entirely different properties from organic compound, different properties, understanding, from common organic compounds. So that is why these compounds of carbon as considered as, if they are not belongs to organic, then they are called as what, guys?
inorganic,
Inorganic.
Organic compounds. So all of you should remember that. So which is not having a properties of common organic compounds, we used to call it as inorganic compounds. So generally all the compounds of carbon basically exist as only hydrides. How they will be existed, all of you? Hydrides of carbon, hydrates of carbon. So which are called, basically we can say hydrates of carbon, which we used to call as hydrocarbons. So that is the one of the most popular and important compounds of carbon called as hydrocarbons, and other compounds are all derived from this. So that is why they are called as derivatives of these hydrocarbons. Do you understand, everyone? They are called as derivatives of hydrocarbons. So that is why just in place of hydrogen, we will replace with the other non-metals. What is other non-metals? Anybody can tell? Yes, please. Nitrogen, oxygen, understanding, sulfur, and halogens. Who is the halogens? Example, I want a halogens example. Fluorine,
iodine,
iodine,
just all the other organic compounds, basically we will consider them as a hydrates of carbon. Very, very important, guys, because basically they all are hydrocarbons, just they are deriving other compounds from the hydrocarbons. That is what derivatives of hydrocarbon. We are replacing the hydrogen atoms by other atoms like nitrogen, oxygen, sulfur, and halogens. So that is why the organic compounds can also called as, they are the hydrocarbons and their derivatives. Simple definition of organic compounds. So organic compounds are hydrocarbons and derivatives of hydrocarbons. Are you clear, everybody? So means derived from hydrocarbons by replacing hydrogen. Okay, everyone? Please respond. So that is why we will say organic chemistry is the branch of chemistry. Organic chemistry is the branch of chemistry which will deals about what, guys? Deals about hydrocarbons and its derivatives. Is it okay, everyone? Please respond.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So that is what you have to remember it. Now, all of you should remember this is what we used to call as organic compounds. Now, if you notice it in our NCERT book, after studying this only, we will go to the types of compounds called as saturated and unsaturated. So if you read this paragraph, so you will be having entire things what we have been discussed till now. So what is the four properties of vital? That is what anybody can tell me what is the properties of versatile nature of carbon? Four properties, all of you. First one, tetra covalency of carbon. Second one, main important property.
Catenation.
Catenation. What is another name of catenation?
Self-combination.
Tendency to form multiple
Multiple bonds.
Multiple bonds.
isomerization. Okay. So the two characteristic features seen in the carbon, that is what, guys? One is what? Tetravalency. That is what? Tetracovalency. Totally four we know, but they are saying here two. Second one is what? Catenation, called as self-combination. Put together to give a large number of compounds. Many have the same non-carbon atoms or group of atoms attached to different carbon chains. That is what is the chains will formed by the carbon? Anybody? What kind of chains will form carbon? All of you. We studied this.
Long chain.
Branched chain,
Branched
ring
chain.
structure.
Cyclic chain.
Branched chain and as well as closed chains of carbon. So these compounds were initially extracted from natural substances, and it was thought that these carbon compounds are organic compounds would only formed within a where? Within a lived organisms. Do you understand, all of you? Lived systems. So that is why it has been considered as, the theory is called as, what is the theory is called as?
Vital force theory.
Vital force theory. That is was postulated that vital force was necessary for the system. That is theory is called as vital force theory. But Friedrich Wöhler disapproved this vital force theory by preparing urea from ammonium cyanide in first, who is that? 1828. So later, all the compounds has been started preparing. And remember, which are compounds of carbon. That is what? Carbides, oxides of carbon, and as well as bicarbonates. That is what? Carbonate and hydrogen carbonate. What is the hydrogen carbonate called as? Bicarbonate.
Bicarbonate.
Not understanding, studied under organic chemistry, because they are having entirely different properties from a common organic compounds. So that is what I hope everybody understand what is organic compounds, and anything doubt, please ask me. So that is why finally we can say organic compounds means they are hydrocarbons and as well as derivatives of what? Derivatives of hydrocarbons. Is it okay, everybody? Please respond. That is what you have to remember it. Now, we are going to study the next one is types of organic compounds. So please all of you write. Types of organic compounds. Whatever I am teaching now, everything we'll study in entire chapter. Okay, so one by one we'll study. So totally we are having 6 types of organic compounds, which is to come in our textbook also. You can see the first and foremost hydrocarbon. What is the first type of organic compounds? Everybody, hydrocarbons. Okay. Second one is called as haloalkenes. Haloalkenes, we'll study that, is called as halogenated hydrocarbons. Halogenated hydrocarbons. Okay, next. Third one is called as alcohols. And fourth one is called as aldehydes. These all are replacing hydrogen. Do you all remember that? Already most of you studied. Is it yes or no? Fifth one is
Yes, sir.
called as ketones. And sixth one is called as carboxylic acids. So these acids only called as organic acids. Please remember that. Carboxylic acids. Clear? All of you? So these are the 6 types of organic compounds. Now, all the organic compounds will be classified, everything will be classified into 2 types. Entire organic compounds, for your purpose only. So all the organic compounds basically will classified into 2 types. One is a closed chain or ring or cyclic organic compounds. Second one is open chain. All of you remember open chain, or we used to call it as acyclic organic compounds. And this one is called as closed chain, or we used to say it is cyclic organic compounds. Because what is the one of the property of carbon, versatile nature of carbon? Anybody can tell? What is the one of the property of versatile nature of carbon? It will form multiple bonds. So what is the multiple bonds nature? Straight chains, all of you. Straight chains. Next one. Branched chain. Nobody knows? Girls? Sheshani, Divya, sorry. Understanding, Amma? Durga? Next one is closed.
Close the chain.
Okay. So, like this, whenever it will take, this all the compounds will be classified open chain. Open chains means straight chains and branched chains will come. Closed chains means like this closed shapes of carbons will form. Now, these one, the closed chains, open chains we used to call as again a saturated all the things. Okay, open chains again classifying into 2 things. One is saturated and another one is unsaturated. Same way, closed also we used to call as saturated and another one is called as unsaturated. So other than this, nothing is needed for you. You just study saturated and unsaturated. Here also saturated and unsaturated. Now, saturated means here or here doesn't matter. Only single bond is present. Understanding? Between carbon and carbon. Here also same thing. How many bonds is present? Only single bond present between carbon and carbon. Unsaturated means double bond, double or triple bond is present only between whom, guys? Between carbon and carbon. Here also same thing. Double or triple bond between carbon and carbon. Okay. So single bond, all of you should understand. So this is what we used to call as saturated. Here also same. If it is a closed chain, carbon must have single bond. So then only it is called as, if you have taken like this. So always the carbon, always having what, guys? Single bond. Okay. So that is what we used to call as saturated cyclic compounds. Now double bond, C double bond C or C triple bond C. Like here also we will get, suppose C, C, C and C. Observe, I will draw. If alternative carbon is having a double bond, then every carbon will get only one hydrogen. So example I'm drawing, guys. So that is what. In place of that, if we'll make triple bond also, it will come. Are you clear, everybody? Please respond. This is what overall idea of what we are going to study in our future classes. Organic compounds, as it is told you, sample paper 7th question came. How to identify the